Good day. This is Global Watch on your digital First Pan-African News Network, TOS Television. I am Abigail Okwade. Hospitals are overcrowded and people are facing death as health system in Brazil is experiencing large number of patients. The country has recorded more than 4,000 COVID-related deaths in 24 hours for the first time. The total number of deaths is near which close to the number in the U.S. In spite of this, Brazil President Jair Bolsonaro has stood his ground to oppose lockdown measures in the country. Bolsonaro is of the opinion that the damage of lockdown to the economy will be worse than the effects of the virus itself. Dr. Miguel, who has been closely tracking cases of coronavirus in Brazil, said that the country is a threat to the entire effort of the international community in controlling the pandemic. On Tuesday, an Iranian cargo ship was attacked. It is believed to be a base for the paramilitary Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps and anchored in the Red Sea of Yemen for years. The attack came as Iran and world powers were in talks about the U.S. potentially rejoining Tehran's started nuclear deal in Vienna. Iran's foreign ministry on Wednesday confirmed the attack, saying the MV SAVIZ was hit with an unknown explosion that caused minor damage around 6 a.m. local time in the Red Sea, close to the shores of Djibouti. Iran's foreign ministry spokesman Said said the SAVIZ is a non-military vessel formally registered with the International Maritime Organization that acts as Iran's logistics station in the Red Sea, providing anti-piracy services. No fatalities were incurred due to the incident, and technical evaluations on how the incident occurred and its origins are underway, he added. In a state TV statement, an Iranian anchor cited a New York Times story that said an anonymous American official said the Israelis had notified the United States that its forces had struck the vessel at about 7:30 a.m. local time. In a statement, the U.S. Military Central Command only said it was aware of media reporting of an incident involving the SAVIZ in the Red Sea, but no U.S. forces were involved in the incident, the command said. Two doormen of the Brodsky organization have been fired after they allegedly failed to intervene when an Asian American woman was attacked in front of their building in New York last month. CCTV video from the attack appeared to show staff at the Manhattan building watching without intervening. Owners of the building said the men assisted the woman and flagged down a police vehicle after the attacker left. It added that required emergency and safety protocols were not followed. The incident comes amid a rise in anti-Asian crimes in the wake of the pandemic, including a deadly attack in Atlanta in which 3 women of Asian descent were among the 8 dead. Brandon Elliott, the suspect in the assault, has been charged with 2 counts of assault as a hate crime and 1 count of attempted assault as a hate crime. The first day of fasting for the holy month of Ramadan, which begins 10 to 12 days earlier each year, is likely to be on Tuesday, April 13th. This is determined by the sighting of the new moon based on testimonies of local moon sighters. Fasting is one of the 5 pillars of Islam, along with the Muslim declaration of faith, daily prayers, charity, and performing the Hajj pilgrimage to Mecca. Fasting entails abstinence from eating, drinking alcohol, smoking, and sexual intercourse to achieve a greater consciousness of God. The pre-sunrise to sunset fast lasts anywhere from 10 to 21 hours, depending on the part of the world. Muslims living in southernmost countries will fast an average of 11 hours, while those living in northern countries, such as Norway, will have an 18+ hour fast. The number of fasting hours will be a bit shorter this year and will continue to decrease until 2032 for Muslims living in the northern hemisphere. After that, fasting hours will increase. For Muslims living in south of the equator, the opposite will happen. In extreme northernmost cities where the sun does not set from April 20th to August 22, religious rulings have been issued to follow timings in Mecca, Saudi Arabia, or the nearest Muslim country. China has said using vaccines to try and convince Paraguay to change its loyalty as Taiwan accused Beijing of offering Chinese-made COVID vaccines to pressure Paraguay to cut ties with the island. Foreign Minister Joseph Wu said China had promised millions of doses for Paraguay, which has been hit hard by the pandemic. According to reports, Beijing considers Taiwan to be a part of China and said it should unite with the Chinese mainland. In a statement on Wednesday, Mr. Wu accused China China of vaccine diplomacy, Wood said Paraguayan President Mario Abdo Benitez was under pressure and Taiwan asked other countries to help procure vaccines for Paraguay. You are watching Global Watch. Coming up next is stories on business, entertainment, and sports. Do stay tuned. Welcome back. You are still watching Global Watch on your digital first Pan-African news network, TOS Television. China's foreign ministry hit back at the United States after the State Department insisted its sanctions on China were effective in restricting the Chinese government's violation of human rights and genocide in Xinjiang. The ministry made this known on Wednesday. Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesman Zhao Lijian countered the accusations as he said the genocide in Xinjiang was the biggest lie of the century. State Department spokesman Ned Price, on his part, said its allies were concerned with the Chinese government's violation of human rights and its conduct of genocide in Xinjiang. Now in business, an international monetary fund forecast showed steady bond and FX markets kept risk appetite buoyant, while global COVID case numbers and geopolitical tensions in rising between China and Taiwan and between Russia and the Ukraine is by no means easy. In the bond market, there was little sign that the benchmark government yield that drives global borrowing costs was going to shoot higher again. Meanwhile, dollar was sitting quietly at a 2-week low. On the entertainment scene, record label Young Turks has changed its name to Young, avoiding links with the mass killings of Armenians during World War I. Armenia says 1.5 million people were killed in 1915 to 1916 in an effort to wipe out the ethnic group. They regard it as genocide, and many historians and governments agree the killings were orchestrated. Founder Caius Paulsen said they originally named Young Turks after the Rod Stewart song of the same name, unaware of the deeper history of the term, and specifically that the Young Turks were a group who carried out the Armenian genocide from 1915 onwards. In commemoration of the April 24th Armenian genocide memory of those who were killed and those who survived, the record label made a donation to the Armenian Institute in London, a cultural charity that explores contemporary Armenian diasporan life in all its global diversity through research and the arts. And in sports, the upcoming public Olympic torch event has been cancelled by the governor of Japan's western region of Osaka amid a surge in COVID-19 cases. This means that Olympic relay torch bearers will no longer be able to run through public streets as had been planned. Instead, Tokyo 2020 Organizing Committee confirmed the relay will now take place behind closed doors on April 13th and 14th. Organizers said they would work to ensure a safe environment for all torch bearers who wish to run there, with no spectators being admitted on either day. In a statement on Wednesday, Governor Hirofumi Yoshimura at a news conference said the number of daily new cases increased 4 times faster this week than before, and the medical system is at a very severe level. The Osaka prefectural government reported a record high of 878 daily new cases on Wednesday. Data shows the more contagious variant of coronavirus made up around half of the infections since the end of March. The games are currently scheduled to take place from July 23 to August 8. The Paralympics will follow from August 24 to September 5. And that is it on Global Watch for today. For more updates, do visit our website at www.tostvnetwork.com. Do follow and like our social media handles on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And remember to subscribe on YouTube. I am Abigail Okwade. Remain safe.